Na 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 na. Na 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 na. Hey, goodbye. Vance Joseph, die. Goodbye forever.
Yeah. Later, dude.
This is about as happy as I felt in the last couple of weeks as far as football goes.
That little pit, that stress pit of knowing how crappy our coaching was is relieved at the moment.
Yeah.
Since he is gone.
We'll see what the future
The excitement
brings.
has brought in knowing that we might get someone good. Hopefully.
Hopefully, yes. At least somebody who, I mean, it can't get worse, can it? I mean, you know what I mean?
Please knock
Like,
on wood on that one.
you gotta assume they're going to try and get the best guy possible. That
Right.
although that was what we tried last time. So.
Right. How are we starting this? Are we going right into the coaching business?
It's pretty much where we're at. That's the biggest thing right now because, I mean, what else? You know, we don't have any games to talk about as far as our own. So, I don't even want to talk about that last game that we played. It was horrendous.
It was bad. It was bad, but usually I'm there just flipping out of why we did this, why we did that. That game, it was inevitable of us not going to the playoffs and almost just wanting to have the seal the deal on the Vance Joseph persuasion.
Yes.
And I don't know. I don't ever root against the Broncos, but I don't want to see Chargers number 2 and get a bye in the playoffs. I mean Chiefs, excuse me.
Yeah.
Chiefs number 2 and get a bye in the playoffs. Hate that.
Chiefs are number 1.
Or number 1. Whatever, it don't matter. They get a bye in the playoffs, and I hate that. I'd rather have the Chargers on that spot than the Chiefs.
I agree. Well, yeah, let's go ahead and talk coaches then. Today, Chuck Pagano was interviewed. He's the only one that's been interviewed, but they have several others lined up or scheduled for interviews. Here's the list of the top candidates from what we've heard. Mike McCarthy, which he actually doesn't have a interview, but Mike McCarthy, of course, is on the list. Chuck Pagano, like I said, we interviewed him today. Chuck Pagano was the head coach of the Colts for a while there.
I don't like this one.
Zach Taylor, who is the quarterbacks coach for the Rams.
I don't like that.
I don't. You want to just go through them all, or?
Yeah, go for it.
Brian Flores, who is a one-year defensive coordinator for the Patriots.
That's the Vance Joseph thing we had.
Yeah.
Don't.
Mike Munchak, who was head coach for the Titans for a while. He's the offensive line coach right now for the Steelers. And then Vic Fangio, who is the D coordinator for the Bears. Which he has been in the league he's been a coach since 1979. But he's never been a head coach.
I'd rather have him, bring him in as our D coordinator.
Right. Well, I think
he wants the spot as coach. Now, this is the line we're at. Broncos did that. They brought in a defensive coordinator that's been in for...
He was only a one-year D coordinator.
They brought him as a head coach. Look how that turned out.
You got to be, yeah.
Now, we've got some lists. We got some pretty good coaches there that have shown their worth and have been a head coach. And not only I think so, but even the players in Denver think so, is bring in someone who is a head coach.
Who's been a head coach who has experience.
Yeah, well, let's not do the debut for some Joe Blow guy. Bring in a guy who is a head coach.
I agree. I think that would be very effective.
And if you're worried about money, man, you guys are really nickeling and diming everything you have already. Bring in someone reliable. Throw some money at him if you need to.
Right. Like a Mike McCarthy would be great.
Yes.
They said Mike McCarthy's going to be the hottest coaching pick.
Go
so
for
everybody's
him, then.
going to be going at him. But yeah, there's 8 coaching vacancies. So there's that many coaching slots that need filled. Out of the list here, I think Vic Fangio is a good one. But like they said, they did say in this article that he's been in the league for so long, but he's never been a head coach. What makes now so different? You know what I mean? It's because the defense is just now doing good there. Like that is a big deal.
I don't like to see 1 year succeed, but and that trumps everything that prior to that.
The Flores, whatever his name is, the D coordinator for what's his name? This guy, Brian Flores. I don't like that at all because he's basically just filling in the spot of the of what Matt Patricia had, like the team he had and the system he had. He's basically just running that. Like,
so no,
it's not him.
No QB coach.
See, that's confusing to me. Like, why that doesn't make much sense. Like, I guess I don't know the guy.
What gets me is all these candidates I'm seeing right now is a QB coach. Before you're a QB or before you're a head coach, maybe you should be an OC.
Yeah, exactly. I wouldn't mind bringing him in as an OC. That might be something to think about.
Fine. We need a sweep shop anyways.
Yeah.
Now these guys, are these candidates for the head coach position?
Yes. All these guys are getting. Everybody that we mentioned that is on here is lined up for interviews except for Mike McCarthy.
Get the interview with Mike McCarthy, please.
Why not? At least talk to the guy, see what clicks. I think my favorite on the list so far is Chuck Pagano, just because he has head coaching experience, other than Mike McCarthy. But for the ones that we have interviews for, because first of all, he has roots in Denver. He lives in Boulder. There's talk that he would potentially bring in Kubiak as the OC.
I would love that.
Because he's a defensive coach.
Right. I would love Kubiak back on the sidelines with Denver.
And he already has chemistry with some of these guys on the team anyway. So, I mean, I don't know. I think that's a big deal. He has head coaching experience. That's what I would like. Let's not forget some of these. There's guys in the college ranks that are potentially going to come up too.
Right.
We could still talk to Jim Harbaugh. We could talk to Lincoln Riley. We can talk to I don't know. I don't necessarily love the idea of a college coach because they run a just different style in college, and it's hard to translate. We've seen Jim Harbaugh do it, and I think he has that attitude that we need. That kind of tough mentality.
With Jim Harbaugh though, with his offense, he goes with the scrambler quarterbacks. He benched Alex Smith.
That is true.
Put in Kaepernick. And in reality, they won a Super Bowl, but that offense is going to be a complete different. He's going to.
But if things go the way that we're hoping and we get Tua.
Yeah, that's true. But I mean, he would have to work with Keenum for 1 year. And who knows? That could be a complete bomb.
That's true.
So. I don't know. Just
the thing about, I think, like I said, bringing in a guy like Zach Taylor as a OC would be more like it.
Correct.
But I don't know.
Bring in Zach Taylor as an OC, or I would love to see Kubiak back on the sidelines. But we're not the only ones sniffing on him right there. Like, other people are looking at Kubiak as well.
At being a head coach.
Yeah.
No. No, he was just talking about he doesn't want to be a head coach anymore.
I think it's that the why he left in the first place was he just like health and
he just wants the simple job of running one thing, and that's the offense, and I get that. Let's see. Yeah, that's my favorite candidate right now is Pagano. It's not something that makes me just jump off my chair though. I'm not like, yes, please, there's really nobody that just except McCarthy maybe. But even then, I'm kind of like,
if it came to Pagano and McCarthy, I would go for McCarthy.
Oh, I would too.
And I want to see them line up an interview, talk to them, figure it out. I know other people are going to do the same thing. There's a lot of coaches fired. But give him an offer.
I want to know what's the other two. Oh, I remember Dolphins.
So all of them.
So the Browns. I think the Browns should take the guy they have, and if they don't, we should interview.
Why
him.
do they put John Gruden in the list?
I don't know.
Why? What?
There's a lot of those that are wrong. Anyway, yeah. So Buccaneers, Cardinals, Dolphins, Bengals, Jets, us. I said Bengals, and then.
Well, even in the middle of the year, obviously.
Yeah, and then the Browns.
The Browns.
But the Packers.
It's their OC, right? Who filled in for Hugh Jackson?
I don't remember.
Whatever, dude.
He's been doing good.
He's doing good.
He's got the right attitude. Also, the Broncos have said they are not interested in Adam Gase as a candidate, and they have said that they are not pursuing Shanahan. And there's rumors about us trading for John Harbaugh, and they denied that as well. Which I don't know that I would want to trade. I only want to target John Harbaugh if he gets fired or if he leaves.
Right.
If he resigns. I do not want to trade because our draft picks are way too valuable at this point.
Yeah. Well, what is the draft picks?
We're
number
pick.
10. Yeah, we're number 10. But is it no other ones in the first round?
I don't think so. I think we just have the one first round.
We haven't traded any off though either, have we?
I can't think of anything that we would have traded for.
We've got a 4th round pick too. Another 4th round for
We have
Demaryius.
another 4th, yeah, and we should have. I feel like we traded somebody else too. Maybe not. I don't think. Yeah, maybe not. We traded out. Well, those were for picks last year, because we traded back a lot last year. I don't know if any of them were picks this year though.
I was scared they were gonna do that last year. Remember?
Trade out
on draft, like Broncos decided to trade out or trade up or trade back. But
we need to do that next year. Like I don't care. I'll trade everything. I'll trade
for Tua.
I'll trade multiple first round picks to get Tua to move up to the number 1 spot. We need a franchise quarterback. Unfortunately, that's not going to be this year. But next year, we have to. There's too many good quarterbacks in the draft. We have to target somebody then and make them the future. And you got to get the number 1 pick. Trade everything. Do what you can. This year, we're going to figure out which coach we want, and we're going to build to the future. Start with the coach, and get whatever coach you get, you need to make sure that coach is going to work with Tua. Because that's what, if I'm the head coach, or if I'm John Elway, that's my plan. Or Justin Herbert. Either one. Whoever has the better year this year and proves that they're worth it.
Remember, college is a different game. They can get in the NFL.
True.
And they could.
But this isn't just me talking. These are what expert analysts and expert drafts guys.
And expert analysts been wrong before.
Yes, but they knew.
I'm just saying, is this you can sacrifice everything to get this person and it completely goes out wrong.
Or you could...
And it could go the other way, but there is that chance. So it's hard to just sacrifice everything.
I know, but I'll take the chance, man.
Okay. All right, what else? I don't know. Bum year.
Oh, the free agents. So we're going to lose... or there's 28 players up for free agency this year. We're going to go down the list. And we're going to say...
I'll say keep or get rid of.
Okay. Jared Veldheer.
I'd keep him. And he's unrestricted. I mean, I don't even know what there is out there.
All these guys... What?
I don't know what there is for right tackles out there.
I don't either. I mean, I don't know if
I would keep Veldheer. I would love to see Damata Pecco, but he's getting old.
Yeah, and we have Shelby Harris coming up behind.
Yeah,
Plus, Shelby
true.
Harris is also on this list. I would rather sign him.
That's true. Go
Bradley Roby, I'm 50-50 on this one. Depending on what
I'm sorry. You could get rid of him.
Okay, let's put it this way. If he goes, I'm not gonna cry. If we keep him, I'm not gonna be so upset. Only if we're planning on getting a slew of cornerbacks.
The only way I would do this is if you sign him and it was cheap and he agreed upon it, keep him as the third.
Exactly.
Tremaine Brock can go.
Barrett,
Shaq, I would love to see him. I would love to see him stay. And what were you telling me?
He said he wants to stay, but he said he wants to be a starter. So he said if they can work something out to where he gets to be a starter somehow, plus the money's right, he said he wants to stay.
Shaq Barrett deserves to be a starter.
He really does.
And I wouldn't blame him in the slightest if he left to be a starter. If he wants to stay, I would love to see Denver work something out. But also, we need to think about the gaps in the defense now. That's a solid point we have at the moment. Cornerback is a...
But it won't be if these guys leave.
You've got 2 starters in... Who is that other guy who can be behind him?
Jeff Holland?
Yeah. I mean... Yeah, it's still high caliber. You still got the 2 awesome starters.
You
yes,
could put somebody on the D-line.
Yeah, that's true too. But, I mean, I'm just saying, as we've got too much of dismal gaps
I know.
to throw money to somewhere that we're okay in. Cornerback is the position and defense that is priority.
I agree.
So,
we have money to go out and get guys, too.
Yeah, it just depends on how that situation works out that I'd want to see him. But I would like to see him do something for Shaq.
Paradis, we need to put him on a contract. We need to just quit this restricted free agent crap and just put him on a contract. Shane Ray, he can go.
Yeah, he can go.
Billy, I wish we would have traded Shane Ray when he was worth something. Billy Turner, I mean, he could stay or go. It doesn't matter. Zach Kerr, I like Zach Kerr actually. So if we could get him on a easy deal, maybe. Yeah. Gradkowski can go. Taylor can go.
I don't even know who Jamar Taylor is.
Magger can go. Hireman, I want to see us sign Hireman and I think we can get him cheap.
You can get him cheap. Obviously he's our best tight end, and I would say keep Hireman. He's done good enough this year. But yeah, I'd say
Mount can go. Max Garcia, he can go too.
I like Max Garcia.
I do, but he hasn't even been a starter hardly.
Yeah.
Might as well just let him go.
Keep Shelby Harris.
Shelby Harris must stay. Hogan can go. Kreider.
Well, that depends on what we have for QB. I mean, we need a second guy. He's our second string quarterback.
Yeah, but we can draft a guy. We can draft a guy in the 4th or 5th
that's
round.
true too. Casey Kreider.
Yeah, we should keep him. He's been a good long snapper for a long time for us. So if we can get him on a
Mr. Fumbly still on the team.
Jordan Taylor can leave or go. It doesn't matter to me. I think we already have a pretty good wide receiver base, so it doesn't really matter. He's injury prone as hell too.
Yeah.
Wallace, I don't even know you. You can go. Garcia Williams. I actually liked Garcia Williams. So if we can keep it.
Exclusive rights free agents? What does that mean?
I don't know exactly, honestly. Wilkinson can maybe stay.
Wait.
What?
Tim Patrick's on the list too?
I think this is guys that are I don't know exactly how this works. I'd like to keep Tim Patrick for sure. Holland for sure. DeMonte Thomas, I'd like to keep him. Lacoste, he can go. Parker can go. I don't even know who Parker is. He was the backup to Lacoste while we were.
Oh, while
But these guys I'd like to keep. So we'll see how we'll shake down the free agency more as we get closer to free agency, but that's just the immediate free agents that we have that will be coming up. I also later on I want to look at other free agents available that we could potentially go get, because that would be a big deal as well. What else do we got here? I think that's it. We got some playoffs. Make our playoff picks.
All right, Colts, Texans. That's a good game.
They're all pretty good games. That is divisional.
Yes.
It's in Houston.
Yep. I'm going to say Houston finally will squeak out a playoff win.
I'm going to say Houston as well. I think it's going to be a close game. I think Indianapolis' defense is kind of coming into its own a little bit. And then Andrew Luck has been playing very well as
Andrew Luck's pretty much back, man. So.
But the same can be said about the Texans' defense is very stout, and and Deshaun Watson's playing very well as well.
Yeah.
Also,
I'd say Texans. You're good.
Seahawks at Is it at? Yeah, it'd be Seahawks at Cowboys. I'm taking the Seahawks in this one. Seahawks, they're finding the right stride at the right time, and the Cowboys are famous for choking.
I agree with that. It's at Dallas too.
Yeah, they won the division.
I agree with that. I think. Dallas has been playing all right, but yeah, they've had a lot of games too that they're just giving up. Now Seattle, I believe, will. They're pretty heavy right now, so I think they'll take this one.
Yeah.
Chargers, Ravens. Ravens got away with it the first time. I think Chargers will get away with it this time. I don't know. I think there's just so much. I guess I don't know the word. I think that Chargers offense can break apart that Baltimore defense, even though that's a good defense.
Yeah, and they're really
and
doing good.
Philip Rivers knows the postseason more than Lamar Jackson. So
yeah, this was actually the toughest one for me.
I think so
because Baltimore is doing really good. It's in Baltimore. Lamar Jackson's not a guy to underlook by any standards. I do think the pressure could get to him a little bit. He's been on big levels.
Two
in
good
college.
defenses.
Yeah, this is a big defensive game too, and it's not to say that Baltimore's offense is just super stellar either. So keep that in mind. I do think ultimately though the Chargers offense will outplay the Baltimore's offense in the end. That's what I'm thinking against these two good defenses. And then we have Philadelphia at Chicago. Philadelphia is actually a really, I like the story with Philadelphia, the fact that they were pretty much counted out for a long time there and they squeaked into the playoffs. That's pretty cool, especially with the Nick Foles thing. But I'm going to go ahead and take Chicago because that defense is too good. Yeah. And it's in Chicago, and that crowd is going to be roaring because it's been a while since they've been in the playoffs. Yeah. I'm taking Trubisky and the Bears.
I agree with that. I think Bears has shown everybody in the NFL that they are a top-tier team, and that defense is killing some good teams. Yep. So I believe Bears are going to take this game, and I believe they could take another game. I think they can go with the distance if they really wanted to. They've beaten LA before. That defense can stop offense. Yeah, if they can drop the right system, I think they can win. I don't think Philadelphia's so strong though that they can even withstand themselves against this team right now. Yeah, I know. To be completely honest. Good for them to be in the playoffs, but eesh.
But that is the end of the season for the Denver Broncos. And as we continue making these shows next couple weeks here, it's basically going to just be talks on the coaching, talks on just free agency stuff, and we'll be talking about playoffs. But other than that, that's about as much as it's going to be until big things start happening, and then we'll talk free agency, and we're going to get a little bit more sporadic in our postings.
Oh my God, dude! Hold on.
What? It's been playing.
Oh, okay.
But
cover that part.
It's been a little bit more sporadic in the postings after all this, after the Super Bowl and stuff, and then we'll do draft talk and whatnot. But we're gonna take a little off season for ourselves as this gets a little toward the end of the postseason. So.
Well, towards the end, probably the end of the postseason once the Super Bowl's done.
Yeah, well, like I said, we'll talk some free agency every here and there once free agency opens up, and then we'll talk some.
I'd say, yeah. Even the postseason episodes can be because we're not talking so much about Broncos unless there is Broncos news.
So they can be like every other week or every 3 weeks or something like that.
Well, this playoff one you can do it, but you can say 10 minutes and you can be done.
So
okay.
We just had a lot to talk about today because of all these new coaching stuff, and we skipped a week too. So, and sayonara, Vance Joseph.
That was great.
That was a good day. I hate rooting for people to lose their jobs. I know they have families and stuff, but my God.
Yeah, he can be a defensive coordinator.
Yeah, he'll get a job doing something. You don't just go from head coach to nothing. God, it was dark. This
I
video.
know. I don't know why.
I realize that.
I think I already put a bulb in that other one and it's out.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. We appreciate it. It's been 416 Broncos. Like, share, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.